everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah,
Yes.
We can hear you pretty well. And yeah, we are seeing your presentation. When you put
Let me
it
know
on
if you
full
can see my
screen,
slide.
it's gonna be, yeah, perfectly fine. So I'm starting 10 minutes right now.
Awesome.
Stage
I'm
is
starting
yours.
my clock as well. Let's see how doable it is to sound innovative after a blockchain-based space company, especially when you're into real estate. Anyway, we're at the seed stage. So from experience, I know that at the seed stage, what's very important is the team. So I want to start with the team. We are a trio of 3 guys representing 3 totally different worlds. You can call me as the startup guy. I've raised more than $500 million in different companies. I was able to IPO one and go bankrupt with a lot of different ones. My business partner comes from the corporate world into real estate. He's been a C-level executive of a Fortune 500 company in the real estate world. And our third partner is what you call a tree hugger. So a guy that runs hotels in harmony with nature, that wants to first, most importantly, protect the nature and then make some money. And we figured out that maybe there's a chance to do a big business together without compromising on the values of each one of us. When it comes to building new cities, there are actually 2 thought leaders right now. You on one hand have Balaji Srinivasan that wrote the network state, that he explains the whole concept of first becoming a decentralized community that purchases land in different areas of the world. And once you reach the scale, you want to build your significance and recognition by the global community. Or you go the Titus Gebel world, where you basically go hard onto a government that might want to have more capital and you force them to change the law. We believe that there's a third way, more subtle way, starting by building a private community which is big enough inside a host country, a friendly country, and then slowly getting some more recognition. But let's start from the beginning. Whether this is because of lockdown or global situation, or because we can work remotely or we have more money, we can either work from a different place in the world, or we can just buy ourselves a second home. And the usual approach is that you would look at the places you would go to once per year for a week or 2 weeks vacation, and you would think that this is maybe also a good place to live there for 3 months a year. But the difference between paradise on earth and hell on earth actually is in the time frame, because a paradise on earth where you go there for a week might become quickly hell on earth where you live there for 3 months, because the infrastructure demanded from an all-inclusive resort that you go there for a week is much different than a place that you want to spend 3 months of your time. Think of supermarkets, pharmacies, restaurants, roads, and so on. So in order to build a real European lifestyle, for the lack of a better benchmark, in a tropical jungle, in a tropical paradise city, you have to build something from scratch. And you have to be big enough to deliver on the promise. So first, we chosen the right country. For us, it was Dominican Republic for many reasons, but the main important ones is that Dominican Republic is 4 hours away of the biggest travel market in the world, because more than 80% of the population lives on the east side of the America. And Dominican Republic is one of the most stable, peaceful, safe, versatile, and economically advanced country in the whole Central America. They're the 8th biggest economy. They have the mountains, they have the beaches, they have the jungles, they even have a racetrack. And inside Dominican Republic, there's a region called Samana, which is like a small continent on 40 square kilometers of land, where you have the mountains and the beaches and the whales as well. Our group in the last 15 years was able to consolidate more than 10,000 acres of land, which is around 40 square kilometers or 4,000 hectares, because in order to control the chaos, which is typical to exotic destinations, you have to control the land. So that was the first step. Then what comes afterward is a master plan that designs where is the nightlife, where is the peaceful life, where you can't rent out stuff on Airbnb, and where is the more buzzing part of the world, where are the parks and so on. And you build the rules of how a community like this should really operate. For example, do not build more than 30% of the land, keep 70% of the land as green, because this is the type of people that want to be here and will pay more money just because they want to be in a more peaceful space, and so on and so on. You basically take the role of an urban planner. And it makes sense for you because you're big enough and you're going to make more money out of it. But I will get to that in a second. When you build a city from scratch, you also have to choose your target customer. We've chosen first 2 target customers groups. One of them is Michael, your typical digital nomad premium, I would say. So we're not talking about the graphic designer that makes 2 logos per day. We're talking about the senior IT developer living in New York. Or Bill, who is a rentier, pensioner, or CEO of a bigger company, and he doesn't care if he spends 2 months a year outside his hometown. The business model of the startup is really the same as a business model of a city, because we've realized that the business model defends itself, and you can privatize the way cities are run. You don't just build to sell, but then you create a series of sister companies that will manage the real estate you have just built and sold. You will manage the hotels you have built. You will also make a lot of money on taking care of the sewage and the waste of the people that you've sold your real estate to. You essentially bring the community that will then allow you to make a recurring revenue for years to come. It's a software as a service, but protected on a land. But the real long-term business model is that we really take one step back. We become more of an old school company to build real estate the old school way, to become an incubator for all those blockchain-based smart city solutions, which are built by young people around the world who want to digitalize the way we're living, change it, disrupt it, but they have no common understanding with the people that are managing actually the cities right now. We want to be the first class of real estate developers and city builders that understand the technology space more, the digital changes more, and we will be the Y Combinator of the smart cities and blockchain cities solutions in the future. We can also be a friendly host for other small crowd-funded micro communities that wouldn't be able to build their own city on their own. I actually used an example of John Travolta house that has his own airport next to it, which I think is super cool. You can think of crowdfunding the same type of concept and having it built for a group of 100 or 500 or 1,000 enthusiasts that will share this location later. But the real long term is that once we build our proof of concept in the Dominican Republic, using new technology also in the way the buildings are being built, for example, prefabricated modular technology that allows you to build 100 houses in a week, we can then scale that concept and build cities anywhere else you think. I don't know about you, but I want to have one city in the Caribbean, but the next one I would like to have maybe in the Himalayas or the mountains of Argentina. We are just closing our investment round. We wanted to raise money just from family and friends, because one of the reasons to build a city in a paradise is not to take too much money from institutional investors, because they will limit the way you're running and going to your long-term vision. So we are currently 50% oversubscribed. So we're closing our family and friends round. We are collecting additional funds via convertible notes. We already have committed we were raising 1 million. We are subscribed for 1.5. We already have committed $10 million from crowdfunding campaigns for specific real estate projects within the city. And with all the land that we are already having under our control, we will also be able to issue bonds at the value of $100 million in 3 years from now. And what's cool about the bonds is that no one's going to tell you how to run your business. If you guys are interested in getting more details about what we do, just hit me up or check our website. Thanks so much for your attention.